Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Broman episode 70. It's nice to have you here. I'm excited. We're recording today live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Professor Broman. This is where we do it every single time, most of the time, 50% of the time, sometimes. It is the end of May 31st, and today we are joined by one of the most incredibly positive people I have seen on social media as of late, and an all-around great guy. His name is LibraLebron, as I destroy his name in front of all of you.
That's me.
Hi, how you doing?
Great.
You having a good day? All that good stuff?
Aside from having second-degree sunburn, I'm pretty
crap. So where do you live right now? Like, I know you have a lot of interesting stuff that I want to talk to you about before we get into like taking calls. So like, where you stay?
Anything. I'm in Arizona now.
Okay.
I was in Oregon a month ago.
Oh dear.
And before that, I was where I was born and raised, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Wow. So you stayed in Brooklyn, and then you've moved twice in the past 2 months.
In the past, round about 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Jeez. Take a chance with this whole gaming internet nerd stuff.
Yeah. So you actually, I like your setup. I want to talk about that first. So you actually live with other broadcasters right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So who is it that you live with right now, and like what was the idea behind doing that? Because I'm curious.
So, you know me, open, transparent.
Yeah.
So, I never liked Miss Team KK, who's Lauren.
Okay.
Never liked her.
And you live with her now, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I can actually like say without thinking about it twice that is my best friend. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
Like nothing. And there was T-Pat Peppers, who has been basically the only person since I've got on Twitch to never change the way they acted, never changed how they treated me. Never switched up on me because some stuff happened. Like, I've had people attack me, social media, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's always stuck through it with me.
That's awesome. So T-Pat's good people.
Yeah, he's a good, really good dude.
Yeah.
Genuine, which is, as you already know, is what I look. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
Are you genuine? That's first and foremost. Everything else comes and goes.
Yeah.
But are you genuine? And he was going through some stuff, and I reached out to her knowing that the only people that know him as well as me and maybe his family would be her.
Gotcha.
So I hit her up, and I was like, yo, can you help me out? Like, I got to make sure my guy is good, you know? And long story short, how did I even do that? Long story short, that was good. That's talent right there.
That's fantastic.
And it's basically just out of nowhere. I was like, I've heard of you before, but I don't like you, but I'm gonna give you a chance because I need to help my friend. And now I live with her. I've only known her now for 6 months. That's
awesome.
Yep.
That's so cool. So you guys have this whole, so you basically set up this like house where you all stream out of, just sort of like out of a need from that one of your friends had.
Yeah.
That's
we basically now have a streamer house. I mean, only me and Lauren are full-time, but still we have a house with, like, literally this feels like what a streamer house would be.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah.
To set up a streamer house, like pool, you got gigabyte internet, like stuff like that. Like, those are the dreams to have and be able to disconnect, because a lot of people don't do that. I disconnect every single day. That's like, nice. Up until when I DM'd you, I was outside. I wasn't here. And up until I was gonna get in Discord with you, my computer's off.
That's awesome.
I feel like what I used to do in the past was waste time. And I would sit there and bust my ass every day doing the stream shit and 12-hour streams and stuff like that. And I realized that it's about the quality of the content, not the quantity. So if I could put on a 3 to 4 hour banging ass broadcast compared to 12 hours and 6 hours in, I'm sitting there like, groggy. I don't feel it no more. My energy's not there. You figure deal? Yeah. Now I have that because I disconnect every day. That's fucking. I told you all that this was going to be good conversations and great perspective for you. That's awesome, man. So I'm trying to think of all the questions. So the second thing I want to know is like, what got you into Twitch? Like, what got you started streaming, and like, what was the, oh, I'll try that. Like, what was that moment for you? Okay, so I'll give it a quick one.
Okay, sure.
So I found Twitch because, again, transparent. I got stabbed, and I had to be in the hospital for a little bit. And then during that time, I realized there was like more situations where I ended up having to lose my kidney and shit like that. And I was in the hospital for like weeks, back and forth, in and out. And I was a Call of Duty kid. Like I was playing Call of Duty anyway. So I came on and I was like, what's up? Who's here? And then I saw, and shout out to these guys. I saw Hayes BBG, who's now Soto _ on Twitch. Nick Merckx. That was the first community on Twitch I was a part of. Yeah. And Big Fultz. Those are the three guys that I watched.
I met Fultz. Fultz is a cool guy.
Yeah, and it's like crazy how, and again, I can't give this, but I could give a little bit. I won't be in America when Black Ops 4 comes out. Okay. That's all I can really give. Okay. And it's with somebody who was my inspiration to be a streamer.
That's cool.
Like it really is a mentality where, and not in a negative sense, but just as competitive type shit, where your idols really do become your rivals. Like I got these dudes' numbers in my phone. I talk to them on a daily, like regular homies. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be next to them now. You feel me? Yeah. So it's and that's the most genuine shit ever.
I like the I like that perspective. You know, when I started streaming, there's two things that you've been through that I think is interesting. One, I also moved in and lived with a bunch of streamers for a while, which is something that I think a lot of people don't remember about me. Maybe my oldest viewers. But it was me, Witwix, Admiral Baru, and T-Rex. We all lived together in a place in St. Louis. And we did that because we were trying to do some, we were trying to make content together. We're like, oh, well, what if we all live together? Maybe that'll make it easier. It didn't. Yeah. The idea didn't play out, right? Like, which is fine. But you have to take risks to, like, you know, it could have been incredible, right? Like it could have been like the next thing, like, oh shit, these people are living together, and like, goddamn, like it's the best content I've ever seen in my life. But it just turned out like
there's not a lot of places that have that either.
Yeah, I mean, there's not, and it's just like the timing of it didn't work out. Like we moved, and then like 2 months later, Destiny came out, and it really changed the way that like I started making content and where I was focused, and so it made it hard for all of us to collaborate, and it's like, you know, all that bullshit. So I think that that's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing like everything that you all have together and like what can come out of like that situation. And then the second thing is like, you know, I think that it is massively I don't know the right word to say. It's really incredible that the whole reason you all are staying together is because you were like responding to help someone who had a need. Because I thought y'all just planned it. Like I thought y'all were like, you know, we're friends and like we're just gonna fucking
I wasn't gonna come.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Come up until, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a month before. Okay, so let me give you another part of the story. Okay. And this is why I say so much that like nothing is a mistake. Like, bro, man, you might not realize it now, but you didn't meet me by accident. You feel me? We not having.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Because we planned it. Like, we was gonna do this shit whether we wanted to or not. You know. And it's we like there's a path there. I believe in energy. Like I'm not a religious guy or nothing, but it's just energy. That's it. Energy's real. You can feel that.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think that like your mindset, your motivation, like what you like, not like in the like the secret put good out into the world and like magically shit's gonna work out because you still have to work hard. But like when you go into every day with the mindset of saying like whatever happens to me is going to have a, like, I can take it and turn it into a positive result. Like whether that's an interaction, like, I did a fucking podcast episode 2 days ago. Like there are things that have been happening in my life right now that are only happening because of, you know, relationships and interactions that I had with people like 5 years ago. You know, so like it is absolutely about like looking at everything. Like there's going to be like something good is going to come out of everything that you do. But you have to be willing to like have the patience and know, like in the long term, just like you said, like like there's a reason why we're talking, and something is going to come out of it that's fantastic for someone listening, or like, you know, the relationship that we're starting now could mean something completely different in 10 years, you know?
Other.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you know what I love? We're not supposed to know. We don't know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But we know it's good. We know it's good. There's no way it can't be bad.
Yeah.
It's only good. And that's crazy. That's cool, you know?
No, I love that. I love that perspective. And I think that, you know, that's something that I bring up about streaming a lot, is that, you know, people get really like tied up in the day to day, and like, you know, I have to like grind it out and do all these hours, or I have to like make sure I hit these numerical goals, or I have to make sure like my view count is like normal, or all like whatever constraints you're putting on yourself, and you start worrying about all this other shit instead of being like there's an upside to everything. Having a shit ton of people watching your channel at a time, as someone who's had a shit ton of people watch my channel at one time, like 20,000 people, like that's awesome. Like it's awesome to have 20,000 viewers, but it's just as like precious to have, you know, 300 or 400 people in your chat, because when you have that other side of it as well, because when you have 300 or 400 people, like the level of connection you get to have with your community is so awesome. So it's like you need to look at the perspective of either like, this is a day where I get to grow, or this is a day where I get to go deeper and like connect more and put down roots. Because depth is what, like the depth of connection you create with people is what keeps folks coming back to your stream. And
that's what lasts forever.
Man, this is great.
You know,
this is great. I'm loving this. Okay.
This is the first time.
No, man, this is first time talking 10 minutes. So this is great. So that brings us kind of to something else that we were talking about. We were DMing each other about it. And it's something that I really wanted to focus on with you while you were here, because you and I are both believe in being like as authentic as you can to who you are. And we both go about it in different ways. So 100%. What is the like number one piece of advice you would have for somebody who is looking to try and find their voice, find their truth or find their authenticity? Like, did you have a process that you had to go through to get to a place where you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to say what's on my mind, or like what I believe?
Stop impressing people and try to impress yourself.
That is okay. That's it. Holy shit. Stop impressing people and start trying to impress yourself.
Yep. I wanna I just started my gym journey, you know? And
okay.
Here we go. I was almost 310 pounds when I left Brooklyn less than 6 months ago.
Okay.
I weigh 258 right now.
Holy shit.
6 months just by eating. Now I'm hitting the gym, and every time I get out the shower, I like flex in the mirror, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I see cuts now. Like, the titties is going away. My stomach don't jiggle when I brush my teeth. Like, it's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah.
I'm stepping into new territory. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I do what I do, not thinking anybody else is going to give a fuck. I do it because I want to do it. I don't do it because, I know this going to get, like, of course, there's the aspect of being smart about, like, your social media and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't ever say something or post something thinking, look at all the fucking clout I'm about to get. Like, now,
clout.
Like, you know how many people this is going to change? Like,
yeah.
And I'm not stupid. I know that. And let me get here, you content creators, let me talk to you for a second. Sit in the chair, get in the office, take a seat. You need a cup of water. Y'all keep looking at that damn like and retweet button. Stop doing that. Look at the little 3 bars button. That's how many people actually looked at your shit. Y'all sitting there really worried about likes and retweets because it gives you an alert on your phone. That's your head making you think that. Look at how many people actually seeing that. You feel me?
No, that's something that I started doing. I did that for like a week straight, or I didn't look at the engagement statistics. I just looked at the like impressions, right? Like that's what you're talking about. Like you're looking at digging in. Like, so like the thing that you don't realize about your tweets is you do have like an extra set of statistics, and you can actually go in there and you can be like, man, because I've had tweets that I'm like, man, I tweeted that shit out and like whatever, like it gets 10 likes. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. And you go into the statistics and it turns out like 15,000 people saw that.
Yep.
You know, which is a completely different way of looking at things. Like, and this is something I've said for a long time. Like, if you're a smaller broadcaster, or growing broadcaster on Twitch, your concurrent viewership might be like 10 to 50 people, but you might have over 1,000 or 2,000 people come visit your channel every day, because the viewer churn on Twitch is a lot faster than people expect. And part of that's terrifying. Like, you're consistently having to make a first impression and all that other shit. But at the same time, if you're constantly just being who you are and making sure that you're speaking your truth and that you're being authentic in how you create your content, it's just so many more chances every day to actually win. And when you start to take a step back and realize how absolutely fucking insane it is that you could turn on your stream and yeah, you might only have 10 people there at a time, but 1,000 people find out who you are every single day. It's very different. You know, we've become desensitized to how actually fucking insane and magical the internet is. Like, the fact that I can pick up my phone and I can tweet out like, hey, I love all of you. I hope you're having a great day. Tell somebody to smile, or, you know, or like it's National Smile Day. Smile at someone today. Right. Yep. You know, smile at someone today and make their day. And then 200 and whatever fucking thousand people that follow me have that as part of their day. Yep.
That's why I be putting random pictures of me smiling.
So
what are you gonna do? Not smile?
Yeah.
I dare you to see me smile with my goofy ass and not smile. I dare you.
100%.
It's impossible.
So I noticed that you do something that is very unique to you when you're on your social media. Is you use the video feature on Twitter more than like 99% of the people I see on Twitter. And your shit is, and this is what I love about it, and I want to go into this a little bit more, but your shit is always incredibly raw, meaning like this isn't shit you're putting on Twitter because it's well edited. It's not like you sat there and you were like, oh, well, blah, blah. You just literally take your camera and you point it at your face and you talk.
Yep. That's it.
Like, what made you start doing that?
I'm gonna give you the quick breakdown.
Sure. That's what I want. Statistics. Okay.
Did you know, which you probably did, but it's more of a ask in chat.
No, ask everybody. Yeah.
Did you know that you can turn on someone's Twitter notifications and it'll give you every single tweet they put?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you know that there's a secondary setting where you can only get live videos that they just tweeted?
Okay.
Which means every single person that has that on, even if it's just 5 people, all 5 of them, know every single time when I go live on Twitch, because I put a video up.
So you're hacking it. Like, you're hacking the system a little bit by doing that.
I am a hacker.
Absolutely. And now you're arrested.
I don't even know how to use Microsoft Word, but I'm a hacker.
Well, no, I mean, like, that's what, like, understanding the like fundamental underpinnings of how the systems that you're interacting with every day. Like, there are fantastic ways to use social media. Like, one of the things that a lot of people are afraid of using, like, I'll use Instagram for an example. People are like, oh, I don't want to fill my post with fucking hashtags. Come on, dumbass. Like, that's how people are gonna find, like, organically find you. Like, there's literally
news pages on Instagram, like DJ Academics for hip hop shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't tag people. He just puts the hashtags of their name because it gets more searches and more clicks.
And that is the kind of, like, that approach, like going above and beyond and like not being uncomfortable to sort of approach things differently on social media is like so fucking key, and it's really important.
Yeah. And another thing, real quick.
Yeah.
You follow a lot of people. I don't follow as many people as a lot of people do on Twitter and all that stuff. I don't follow people unless I really vibe with you.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times do you see on your timeline the same picture or the same GIF every single time the same person goes live?
This is true.
You don't have to watch my stream but you will watch every single video of me saying I'm going live. And I'm
This is true. This is true. This is Libra is literally changing my strategy right now. You're gonna have a lot more videos of me going live.
Take it, put it in your pocket, save it for later, for clout. You know?
Yeah. I love that clout has become like just really like it's been something people have been saying for a while, but at least in the gaming space, it got really, really popular after these Friday night Fortnite things.
Yeah.
Which is really when it started to come like to prominence, like on my feed. So like you mentioned, I follow a lot of people, and no one has actually brought that up on this podcast before. The reason I do it is because like one of the ways that I learn is like I like to take broad like strokes of like people's concepts and ideas. I'm like and empathetically understand like, oh, well, this is what's going on like market wise. I use it for like market research to sort of understand what people are thinking and talking about. Because there's no better way to understand what's on people's mind than to see what's on like 1,000 people's mind every time you wake up, as long as they're like, you know, high quality people. So like I actually follow a lot of folks so that like if there is if a trend shows up, I'll know it before it hits the trending side of Twitter.
Your friends are talking about it.
Yeah, so everyone's talking about it. So then I can get, if I have an opinion about it, I can get in front of it. Or if there's, you know, if there's like a business opportunity for us to present some content from like Guardian Con or from King's Coast, we can get top of funnel on that and be like, you know, good at business.
By the way, no sellout. I promise y'all. Bro, man didn't hit my PayPal or nothing. That King's Coast shit is fucking fire, bro.
Well, that's, I mean, that was the whole. So like when we
mad good.
When we made the company, we spent 2 months working with Pete and Wayne. So like Wayne's our chef and Pete's our roaster, and Pete has like a really deep background in like logistics because he used to do merch for bands and like all this other stuff, and he's ex-military. So he's got like this deep understanding of like logistics and like supply chain dynamics. So they literally sat down and they were like, we need to figure out how to deliver coffee like within 3 days of it being roasted, because that is like the coffee snob peak of freshness. And so like we knew that if we could get that to market, that it would blow people's minds. And so like when we get feedback like it's fucking great, it makes me feel like, you know, that too, like we took time to set that up. And so like hearing that, I love how many people are like, they're not paying me, but it's fucking great. So I appreciate that,
because everything is a damn fucking hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor, hashtag this dick. If it's good, I'll tell you it's good. That's it. And
there's, you know, like people
should pay for those reviews. Real motherfucker reviews.
I would agree with that. But unfortunately, the FTC has fucked that shit up. But something I actually, like, you brought up a great point that has a lot of value to people. Like, folks are constantly asking me, like, hey, I want to, you know, work with this company, but like, I'm not big enough yet. So like, should I just never talk about it? But like, the reality is you should constantly talk on socials, like, or anywhere. Like, you should talk about everything that you like constantly. One, it's just a fucking smart idea because that's how you connect with people. Like, how are you going to stand out from every other broadcaster? Well, you know, like, fuck all these other people. I don't give a shit about them. Like, oh, this guy likes to flick his tongue.
Oh, that's me, you know.
And they'll be like, holy, who is this guy?
We're gonna keep the content. Can I get a tongue flick from you real quick, like full cam?
From me?
One time for the one time.
One time? Oh, yeah.
This is only for Twitch, guys. Everybody else that's on Spotify, iTunes, and
there you go.
And all that.
No, absolutely.
Don't get this.
Absolutely. There you go.
Like that.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that's only live video. Tough shit audio. No, I like that. I like that. Okay, so
TV/Professor Bro, man, you won't miss it next time.
It's true. So I wanted to like backtrack because you said you found Twitch after you got stabbed. So from your past, like your past before you started making content, before you started doing what you're doing right now, like how does that inform what you do right now? Like, does that like make you great? Like, you focus a lot on being grateful for things, but like, does that shit that you've been through? We had on episode 8, we had Big Cheese KIT on, And the reason I had him on was because we were talking about like real shit in chat, and he was like, yo, real talk, I was fucking homeless before I found Twitch. And I was like, shit. So like, and so we talked all that through, and it was just kind of incredible. So like, what was your life like before Twitch? Like before that moment happened, like what was going down, what happened, and like, how did that inform who you are right now and what you make?
When it's easy to get something, right?
Okay.
But when you come from absolutely nothing, you appreciate everything. You know? So you start. So your situation, you really started from like zero. 100%. It's just me, a single mom, busting ass, trying to give me what she didn't have. And from where I'm from, that's probably everybody's story.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't take a route of being a entertainer on the internet. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
and again, transparency, because I don't care. I've sold drugs before.
Yeah,
a bunch of times. That's life. That like, and when other people hear stuff like that, like I've been in jail. Not a bunch of times, thank fucking goodness. But you know,
I've heard it's not the most enjoyable place.
No,
it's not great.
I mean, if you ain't got nothing else.
Sure. No, you know, like respect. So I don't know if you know much about my past.
Tell me.
Sure. So to that point specifically, like I had minimum wage jobs for like a decade after I finished school. I came from, I mean, like real talk, like I'm a white male from the Midwest. Like I realized like I was born with a lot of advantages.
You know what's wow? T-Pat says that all the time. He's
it's like, fucking true. I realized that in the game of life in America, like I was born like inside of, you know, the stadium that the playing field happens, and like some people have to like they're like, you know, 5 miles out, and just to get into the game, it's a fucking struggle. So I'm always really grateful for that. But you know, after I graduated, my parents they took great care of me. But then after that, I was like, no, I have to make it on my own, and that was a struggle for me. So I basically had like minimum wage shit jobs for my entire life. But I used to work in a psychiatric hospital. And a lot of times people would come in like faking shit just so they could like stay for a week and have like a hot meal and not be living on the street. Like,
are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So did I.
Respect.
I worked at Interfaith Medical Center in Brooklyn, New York, doing overnight security. And I used to have to like literally give these guys food because they would fake that they were going through shit just to sit in the little room watching TV with some food that's not spoiled or from the garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
I relate with you there, but continue. I'm listening.
Yeah, no. So like, you know, so the crazy part about that part of my life was like, so I was doing that, and it's weird because it creates this dynamic. Like I'm working in a hospital. And so everybody's like, oh, this is the guy that's working in the hospital. This is the guy that's telling me what to do. His life's better than mine, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't. Like I lived in a shithole, and I had to sell my blood plasma so that I could afford to buy food. Like all the rest of my money was going to paying my rent and my bills and like, you know, for a car so I could get to work. One day I walk outside and there's this lady in the middle of the street who was a frequent visitor of our establishment, the psych center, and you know, she was just like in the middle of the street like barking and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like this is crazy, because I didn't realize like how much like that like I got treated so differently when I was working at the psych center, when in reality like my situation, like my life was just as fucked up at that point as the people I was taking care of. And the moment that I don't know if I've ever talked about this, one of the scariest moments in my life, I would work a 12-hour overnight shift, and I wake up and I go get in line for the plasma donation like right at 8 a.m. Because if you showed up at 8:10, you ended up having to wait 3 hours before you could donate, and I didn't have the option of like not donating. So if I didn't make it by 8, I was fucked, because then I was basically just going to have to get home and go to sleep and not get enough sleep before I wake up the next day. So that night shift I got off, we had released a patient that had threatened to kill me. And like he was one of the people that like, I mean, I get threats when I was working there, but he was one of the people that like we actually like had to file paperwork on, like it was very serious.
Yeah.
And this dude was 2 people in front of me at the plasma donation clinic. And we went into the place and like he got set up like in the bed directly across from me. And just fucking stared me down for like an hour while I was donating this shit. And he was like talking to the people next to him, like whispering and like pointing at me and like making fucking nasty faces and all that shit. And like I legitimately that day I was like, I'm gonna have to go outside and like fucking fight some people, or maybe I'm just gonna get killed. Like maybe this is actually how I fucking die. But it was really weird because the next time he came, so I didn't obviously get stabbed and I didn't get in a fight. The next time he came in, he looked at me and I was like, hey man, are you like feeling better now? Like you want to kick my ass still, whatever. And he's like, no, it's cool, man. I didn't know that you were I didn't know you were in the shit like I was, or like whatever the fuck he said.
He gave respect for you because of that.
Yeah, because he thought, like I said, like he thought that I was doing great because I worked at the hospital and I was making fucking minimum wage and barely scraping by. I think that like taking the time to be empathetic and try and understand people like on the other side of wherever they're at. Like when you meet somebody, you don't know what their past is. Like maybe they had a great life and then they're trying to live on their own and shit sucks. Or, maybe they had to sell drugs so they didn't go homeless. Like fucking, I get that shit. And I think that like empathy and like having gone through horrible shit is like an incredible driver and an incredible engine to make you not only grateful, but like if you can get past that shit, you can get past anything.
I think those are the only kind of people that have long-lasting success, or just even end up being good people. You can just tell if somebody has a good heart.
Yeah, because if you've been through it, then
the only people that could do that is people that have gone through shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't gone through shit, you no matter how hard you try, you'll never understand.
And
you'll never get it.
Yeah. And I think that the number one thing that you can do, I think, and this is for like, so obviously like I grew up, my parents were superheroes and they took really good care of me. Mm-hmm. My mom had like a master's degree, but she didn't use it. She decided to work as a janitor instead so they could get a tuition discount and send me to the school that they wanted. Like the woman had a master's degree and decided that instead of being like, no, I'm too proud, she said like, no, I love my kids so much that I'm going to take this shit job and get made fun of and have garbage thrown at me by these prep school jackasses, which was hard for me watching growing up. But like she decided to humble herself so that she could take care of us. Yeah. And that is like a gift that I can never pay that back. Like never. She spent, like 9 years of her like highest income earning part of her life. And she sacrificed that for me and my sister and my brother.
Without me even knowing them,
mm-hmm.
the best payback you can give them is making them proud.
Absolutely.
Make them be able to say they're proud of you. That's it. That's the only payment they want.
It's truth. That is truth. That has been my parents have been exceedingly happy with all the charity work and everything that we've been building with, Guardian Con and the and all the work that we're trying to do with King's Coast. One of like the long-term things we're doing, since my mom was a special ed teacher and I used to work in special special services for people who had like disabilities and needs. Like one of our big goals at King's Coast is to have priority hiring for people who have physical and intellectual disabilities, to honor that part of our past, and so things like doing things like that and the fundraising stuff, like hearing, and I'll tell you this, chat, or anyone listening, if you decide to do the things in your life and go your own way, because I actually had a relatively big fight with my dad over streaming full time when I started. But when he turned around 3 years later after I'd made it and said, I'd never been more proud of you than the day that you told me I was wrong and then proved it. If you really believe in what you're doing, you can't let anybody stop you. You can't let your parents stop you, even if they doubt you, your friends, your family. Because if it's true to you and true to who you are and like where you need to go in life, it's absolutely worth taking the chance. And you know what? If you fuck up and it sucks and it goes nowhere, that's who gives a shit. It's your loss. At least you tried. There are so many people who go through their whole life without even taking a chance. They don't even have the balls to try. Yeah. So before we start getting into these questions, this is fucking, I could just talk all day, but we want to help some of these people in here. Yeah.
Unless you planning to go away tomorrow, we got plenty more days.
Plenty of time to talk for sure. Yeah. No. So yeah, my mom was incredible. I'm sure, Libra's probably got great stories about his mom and everything she did, especially if they were out there trying to do everything they could.
Queen.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I have nothing but respect for parents are so like, I think that it's really underrated that like regardless of which situation you come from, like my situation, I came from like a much better social situation, but like both of our parents are willing to do whatever it takes, and being around like that energy from your parents really teaches you like this is what it takes. Like sometimes it's gonna take waking up at the beginning of the fucking day before the sun comes up and working until 1 a.m. for years.
Yep.
Like that shit is what drives you. It's what creates success. It's what pulls you out of whatever shit situation that you're in, and it puts you into a place to win. Because the only way that you're going to be able to change your situation is if you put in the work. But if you've never had that example, it seems so foreign to me. And that's something like I encounter a lot doing this podcast and like answering all the DMs is like there's a lot of people whose parents just sort of like coasted, like shit was good. And so like they feel like they feel like, their parents maybe lived a life where like shit was easier for them, or they got set up by mom or they got set up by dad and they have a great business and they do their 9 to 5 and like shit's just easy. And so yeah. So and the thing that I've come to learn about that more than I think I realized is that can happen at like every economic level. Like you don't have to have parents that make millions and millions of dollars a year for you to have never encountered like strife and challenge. Like, yep. If you live, I mean, even like low class, like lower middle class, like if your bills are paid and you get to go out and have fun every weekend and like you never see the struggle, and your parents never share that with you, it's really hard to learn. So like if you're listening out there and shit is hard and you're struggling and you feel like you don't have the stomach to overcome it because maybe you never saw the example or maybe it was never shared with you, that's why one of the biggest things that I believe in, and I'll tell this to everyone here, you've been through some shit, and I personally believe that you have a responsibility after you overcome it to share what you've been through with everyone, because everyone thinks that their pain only belongs to them, and it doesn't. All of our pain,
a lot of people's pain allowed them to get past it to a point where they could teach other people how to get through their shit. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah. So like you need to share what you've been through because it makes someone else not feel alone. And especially if you've come out of it and you're more successful or fucking even just stable, because like sometimes that's the only goal that someone has. If you share like, I've been through this shit, I've been to jail, I've been stabbed, I used to sell drugs, I used to work shitty ass minimum wage jobs, like whatever it is, like people hear that and they think, this person got out, I can get out too.
Yep, and that's it's gonna be funny, but I remember when I first like started taking streaming seriously, mm-hmm. I put up I think it was like $100,000 donation goal, and it said in big red letters, "Get out the hood," and it was a joke, of course. Yeah. But this internet streaming shit actually got me out the hood.
Yeah.
Like I don't go into a pissy elevator every day. Like there's no roaches on the walls.
Yeah.
Like I got like Dog, I got a microwave in my fucking wall, G.
That's
my refrigerator got water coming out of it, dog.
It works.
Like, what?
Yeah.
From pissy elevators to a swimming pool in the backyard.
That's fucking awesome.
And now all I gotta do is just be funny and play video games every day, and I'll sustain it. Come on. If I ain't, it might not be the American dream, but African American dream.
I mean, well, it's your dream. Like, that's the thing, is that that's the beauty of it, right? Is that you get to define the level of success that makes you happy. And for me, it has been and always will be, if I can pay my bills streaming, then I should be the happiest fucking person in the world. Because I used to pay my bills by getting, spit on and having shit thrown at me. And then, going and having a needle stuck in my arm for 2 hours.
I had a girl literally like, I don't want to get too crazy, but there was blood and poop, and she threw it at us, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah, man.
That's real. Like, if you ever been to a mental institution or an asylum or anything like that, it's hard.
It's nuts, man.
And you can't just street it. Like, you can't just hit these people, or they don't understand what they're doing to you.
Yeah, you can't. Like, you have to have
scary.
The most amount of restraint. You can't.
You have to have so much patience.
Like opening up a door and just having like a cup of piss thrown right into your open mouth because you were trying to talk to the person.
Not do nothing.
Yeah, and you can't do shit. You just have to be like, sorry, you're having a bad day, Roger. Like, like, oh my god, yeah, it's tough, man.
I want to ask you because about that job.
Sure.
Is that the first time you shared that story of you going through that situation?
The guy threatening to kill me? That absolutely. That's the first time I've ever talked about that.
I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me that gem. I'm gonna put that in my pocket. I'm gonna save it for later. I appreciate you.
Please do.
You didn't have to. You feel me?
Oh yeah. I mean,
shit hidden. They don't have to say nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's
that realness. That's cool. You feel me?
Yeah. And then I have a question for you. Did you ever so it sounds like you were in the shit with the psych stuff too, obviously. Did you have the fun like twice a year you get to go to the fucking clinic and get like tested for like every STD on the planet because you might have gotten it from somebody who you didn't even have sex with? They just threw their shit in your mouth.
They sent us once. I didn't work there long enough for that. I was only there for like 4.5 months or something.
Jeez.
But they did send us once.
Yeah.
They were like, you guys all have to take the day off. You guys all, you can't clock in, and then you can't. And then they were like, you can't come back to work because it counts
until you get cleared.
So you have to do it all and then get tested. Like, it was like and it's crazy because you really like, bro, these people would try to grab the needles out of the doctor's hands when they try to give them shots.
Yeah,
they shoot them in there, but Chad don't.
Yeah,
with, like basically tranquilizers. Like, we would hope, like, I'm security, so I'm the one that they call to hold these crazy motherfuckers down.
Same.
While they shoot them in their ass.
Yep.
So it's real.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, like, now we're just going to share stuff. I'm sorry, Chad. This is going to be like the next 10 minutes. Okay, so I had a guy come in on, I think it was meth. And it took 8 people to hold this guy down. Like,
that's that meth strength.
It was crazy. 8 people to hold this guy down. I'm seeing him throw around like a 200-pound orderly with like just his wrist.
Sheesh.
Like fucking just it, and like luckily, like, this was after we got the guy into a place where like we were able to like get control, but like 5 minutes earlier he was like just out in the middle of the common area, and he could have popped off and like beat somebody to death.
Yeah, like
it's just it's so unreal, man. I have never talked to somebody who was like this far into working like psych or security or like anything at all.
Let me give you this then. I think this was where I learned my being able to diffuse situations.
Oh, for sure.
Because, of course, you're gonna notice when they first bring them in, they bring them to me first, security. Okay. So they bring them in. There's this big glass room with like semi-padded walls and a bench.
Okay.
I have to put the person in there. I have to. Bro man knows I'm not bullshitting. I have to risk my life walking in that room, closing the door behind me with this person who might be out their fucking mind.
Yeah. Yep.
Hope they don't got something that's gonna stab me in their pocket or something crazy, and you can't cuff them until they give you a reason to. Stupid ass. Why is that a rule? But like,
I feel like I'm having so many nostalgic moments right now. Like I'm like, yes, I remember this. And then you have to do the strip search. You have to convince somebody.
Take their clothes
like
off.
you have to tell everybody.
You can't touch them. You got to put your gloves on. You can't touch them. You got to do it.
You got to make sure.
You have to.
Yeah, you got to make sure, like, entry procedure. Yeah, dude. Like, you got to make sure that they're fine, they're safe, they're not bringing anything in to hurt you, they're not smuggling drugs in for other people. Yep. Like, God, like it was. Yeah, man.
That's great. You see? What I tell you?
Yeah.
We did not know any of this before this conversation.
Yeah, it's
we weren't supposed to know any of this until this conversation.
Yeah, this is wild. Yeah, well, we need to get a drink one night and just like go all out and just share like the worst fucking stories we have, because it sounds like you've got some fucking winners.
I'm down, but my drink comes in leaf form because
that's fine.
Straight edge.
So you're straight. Okay, all right. Well, we can hang out and drink some tea and do some yoga.
I'm hella down for that. Yoga should be mad flexible. I lift some weights.
Fantastic. All right.
We'll figure it out, though.
So for those of you that have been listening to this fantastic conversation, now is the time in the show where if you got a question that you want to ask me or Libra, and I swear to God, you probably have some. You can hop into Discord right there, and we'll take whatever questions you got, and we'll give you some answers. Please take advantage of this opportunity.
I will answer anything honestly and as unfiltered as possible without getting somebody banned.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna get this might be a follow up because I think we've had this guy on here before, but this is the Mecha Man. I'm trying to remember last time we talked. It's been a while. But yeah, he's gonna unmute himself. I'm gonna burp and make weird sounds, and then we're hopefully gonna get started. That is like, so you worked there for 4 months. Was that like the only psych?
Nah, there was another site, but they didn't. I'm guessing it was some racist shit. But like, the heads, the guys that hired us,
they were like,
they didn't trust me to work there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just did this for 4 months. What do you mean? And I was like, whatever.
Yep.
Oh.
All right, Mecha Man, what's up, dude?
You can hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because
I can hear some songs in the background too.
Yeah, I'm out in the garage.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Question? Hold on, I wrote it down. I actually wrote it down this time.
Fantastic.
On your last podcast, Mike talked about the titles of YouTube channels, and I want to say that is actually something that has I noticed almost instantaneously of changing titles.
Okay.
So that was actually one thing that from the last podcast, episode 69. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it.
Cool.
Everyone else.
Hell yeah.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
Well, the both of you actually.
Good.
I had just received my email for affiliate status.
Coolio.
Over the past weekend. And my thing is, I feel like I shouldn't accept it, but I'm not quite. I feel like there's other things that I should have as a streamer implemented before I accept it. You know, like your own Discord or other things. What are some recommendations that you, the both of you, would give for someone that's gonna, you know, at that point of, hey, you're affiliate, trying to keep the followers sticking around, sort of thing?
I think that it's really smart that you didn't just like jump right in and say like, oh, hey, I can make money now, so I should make money. Because I think one of the big problems that can happen with streaming is that the second folks have the opportunity to monetize, they do so. And occasionally they do that at the sacrifice of generating more community. I mean, for me, I think that the most important thing that you need to do, could you like walk away from the speakers?
Yeah. walking. I gotta go all the way to the other side.
Yeah. Because it's coming across real loud.
It's gonna be on stream, so
yeah, it's on stream and it's on the audio side, so we're just trying to keep it clean for people. I think that one of the most important things that you can and you should do is like make sure that whatever the goal is that you have as a broadcaster, you feel like you've gotten to a place where that's like being actualized before you flip the let's make money switch. Like when I started streaming, like it took a long time for people to get partnered, blah, blah, blah. You had to have like 500 concurrent viewers and you could only get a sub button if you had 1,000 concurrent viewers. So you could actually get partnered and you wouldn't have a sub button. But, you know, most people, everybody had a tip button, but I refused to put my tip button up until after I got my sub button because the only way I wanted people to support my channel was by telling their friends about it. And so sometimes like putting barriers up to say like, no, you can't financially support me yet. The only thing that you can do is you can, you know, tell a friend or whatever is smart. I would just make sure, I think that you need to know kind of what your vision is before you say like, yes, I'll turn on this switch on my channel. Because for as many people as I've seen like affiliate status like accelerate their growth, because there's absolutely those people, there's an equal amount of people that it sort of slowed everything down. So you have to figure out, you have to figure out like where you want to fall on that scale. It's like a little bit of introspection to get your answer. That's what I think. I don't know what Libra thinks,
Okay.
but I'm curious.
I think it's smart to not want to do it yet, but I also I'm kind of on the fence because I feel like a lot of people, once they get like the opportunity to monetize something that they love, they lose love for it a little bit. So I think that people are allowed to do it so early that you start losing the passion for it because it just becomes a thing where you're making money, you know? So I think you, as long as you don't lose your passion, you should be Gucci, you know? Just don't lose your passion, no matter what.
I think that's super great advice.
Yeah, ever since I started streaming, I kind of feel like whether I have someone there or not, I enjoy even talking to myself doing it. So I look forward to doing it at the end of my day every day. And I need to take breaks for my family, so it's like, I gotta keep a couple days off for it. So
yeah,
100%. Don't make the mistake that myself and thousands of other broadcasters have, where we go 2 feet in and don't even think about it, and we kill our bodies and our minds, and we do 24-hour streams every couple of days, and we just sitting there. We're the guy that's always live, you know. Sometimes, so let me give you a little bit of not so much advice, but just like a little tidbit of information. Would you rather somebody meet you from your stream, like come into your channel and get to know you, or, and this is preference, or would you rather someone already know so much about you, they know your vibe, they know your personality before they even click your channel? You feel me?
yeah, I feel like that's a very good perspective, because then you can get extremely personable with them.
And that's what I strive for, is like, my main goal is to get to a point where I never have to introduce myself ever again. That's my goal. And we're a long way from that, but we getting there, you know? Where people know your vibe before they even speak to you. Before they even have any type of interaction with you, they know who you are, they know what you do, they got a feeling of your energy, and they know who you're gonna have around you. So get it to that, and just, again, don't lose your passion, and you'll be Gucci. It's a lot easier than it thinks, but remember that it's mentally tolling and scary.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Do you have any follow-ups or?
Yeah, I messaged you one time, and I don't know if you're gonna get in trouble, and I'm gonna apologize on that greatly. But you're using you have Tullus to sit there and help implement stuff to YouTube.
Yeah, I have an editor. Yeah.
So in a sense, how is it that 24-hour lockout work in that sense?
What, you talking about 24-hour content lockout from Twitch?
Yeah.
They absolutely don't give a shit about YouTube right now. And until Twitch decides to renegotiate everyone's contracts and rewrite them so that it would be enforceable for them to basically make that lockout a reality, which means they would have to enforce it across the board, which would eliminate a lot of YouTubers that stream on Twitch. So until they rewrite contracts, it's best to ignore it, because the de facto reality is you can put content up from Twitch anywhere else immediately, and it just makes Twitch look better. It's honestly a horribly written contract, in my opinion, and it would truncate Twitch's growth if they prevented people from being able to share immediately content generated on Twitch on other platforms.
Okay, because that was my concern. It's like I always put the content that I put on YouTube with, watch it live on Twitch, or here's the link back to Twitch. It's like, hey, it was here first, sort of thing. So go check it out there if you want anything new.
Twitch needs to stay market competitive, which means they're going to continuously adapt their policies. And I think one of the policies that they're going to have to adapt is redistribution of content. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. And of course, they're going to have to update their privacy policy and destroy your inbox a little bit more with all that bullshit. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's the business side. I mean, I think, a lot of people get really scared. I think that if you see a vast majority of people, in this case, we're talking about content that you already own. It's just not enforceable on Twitch's side without causing all kinds of hell. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
And my last question is about merchandise.
Cool.
I have a friend that's starting to do some screen printing, and he wants to be able to put it on the internet because he's a graphic design artist of creating ones. He didn't know which to use. I mean, there's Teespring, there's Designed by Humans, there's a couple out there, and it's like, which one's in essence not better than the other, but
I mean, I think that that's hard.
Personal preference.
Yeah, it's really kind of like do your own research and get in where you feel like you fit in. If
he wants to be able to do it quickly, set it up, get the ball moving, DBH. You can make a fully custom store with any design you want, sell it for the price you have, and make money on it. Not a lot, because obviously he's not going to start out with a partner deal or something from DBH, but he can make a little bit of change doing his thing, selling his work, and seeing where it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. It's finding the best platform to distribute.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
That is actually all the questions I had for the both of you, actually.
Beautiful.
Thank you for talking to us. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. You have a great day.
You too.
All right. That was Mecha Man. Good job, Mecha Man. He's been on for a while. All right. We're going to get... I don't know how to say this person's name. I think it's Karios. Karakeos, maybe. It's something that sounds vaguely Greek. So yeah, check all your audio devices. Make sure you unmute your microphone. Hey, there he is, or she is. How you doing? Sounds like we're gonna have to do a little mic check.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. All right, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, everything's working first time. Great.
You fucking crushed it, dude.
Hey, isn't audio the bane of all streamers out there?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking hard. For sure.
About a week and a half ago, I had about 10 minutes of dead air on my channel.
Oh.
Because something happened, stream crashed, and all my audio just went completely broke.
It's always fun, man. It's always fun. Well, what can we do for you today, man? What questions you got for me and Mr. LibraLebron?
They're mostly for you, but I'd like to kind of also get a Libra's perspective on some of them, I guess. First of all, the Restream.io. I know you talked about that a few times on your channel. That being a kind of a nice starting place. Stream everywhere, see what platform.
Yeah, see where you get traction, find out what feels right for you.
With your audience.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on using Restream.io in the long term and having a community on multi-platform?
I think that the market's not ready for it yet.
not ready for it yet.
I think that the tools are not in place to allow you to create a fully integrated community experience when you're spread across so many different platforms. Like, you're not only dealing with like different viewer habits, but like you're dealing with so many different things, like different forms of monetization. You're dealing with
different cultures.
Different, yeah. I mean, like different, like your attitude on like the way you approach Facebook is different the way that than you approach Twitch, which is different than the way you want to approach Mixer.
Very much so.
I use the word true to form a lot, but like when you are engaging in, you know, creating content on a platform, you want it to be true to form. So like making a shit ton of really long conversational videos and putting them on Instagram doesn't make any fucking sense, because Instagram isn't built like that. And, you know, to a lesser degree, I understand that people look at these different platforms and they think streaming is streaming. So whatever, that's a mistake. So until there's some website that comes out and really integrates all that stuff, long term, I think it just causes confusion.
Okay, because my thought was having like a little community on all the different platforms, but then having Discord kind of be like the central hub community.
Sure.
So I didn't know what your perspective on that
was. I think that every single broadcaster, and I'm interested in getting Libra's perspective on this. I think that every single broadcaster makes enough goddamn live content, and they need to start making other types of content to survive long term. What do you think, Libra?
Imagine seeing a nail in a wall and smacking the shit out of it with a hammer on the head. You guys see that? There it goes. You see it. Putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. It creates like long term when all you do is make live content, and we had this conversation yesterday. It creates vulnerability, right? Yeah. You're one dimensional, and
if you drop that one basket, you have nothing left.
You have nothing left. Yep.
If you got one nice sizable, dinosaur egg in every basket, it's not gonna break. The shells are extra hard. They're only soft in the middle. It's like a soft boiled egg,
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. I started streaming myself on Mixer 2 months ago, and as far as I know, it's been going great. And since then, I've had I want to say 8, 9 different podcast or video vlog ideas. Problem is, I don't have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had 2-3 times more time in a day just to get everything done that I would like to get done.
How long in a day are you currently streaming?
I can only do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, because I work full time, married, which is over full time, and then I have a few real life things. So
you have a real life.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real life currently. I'd like to devote more time to streaming in the future. It's just not in my cards right now.
So now let me give you this. If you can in any way, shape, or form get traction to your content, to your name, with the time allotted, with your schedule, with your family, shit like that, then it'll be great. Yep. Then slowly start putting in more time. You figure deal?
That's exactly.
Don't Michael Phelps dive in that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Take it easy. Yep,
that's exactly what I'm doing. Starting slow and building up as the stuff and opportunities come forward.
Yep, and the more that you see it start building, take a little bit of time. You share your passion. Let your wife know, listen, babe, can I not go out with you on the movies on Saturday? And can I do this little event stream type shit? You feel me? And if it starts working, not only are you going to see growth from it, you might be able to see a little bit of paper, it'll work. And then your wife knows what you're doing already. Your wife knows. Listen, I guarantee that she's going to be happier with you sitting in your damn room playing video games than being out possibly piping somebody out.
It's true. It's true.
Where you at? Babe.
There's no where you at text ever.
That's it.
That's one of the shadow benefits of dating a streamer.
No, I was doing a raid. It takes 8 hours.
That's the benefit of dating a streamer. If you want to know where they're at, you just tune into their channel.
Exactly.
Wife's out of town. She knows exactly where I am the entire time.
It's an online game. Can't you pause it? You know what?
That's my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Libra said everything that I would have said. You know, it is edit the time that you have, you know, like a podcast doesn't have to be 5 hours long. Half the shit that I put on my feed is 5 minutes of me sharing what I think about something that is important, you know.
I intend to do something like that eventually. It's just need to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, like, talk to your wife and like figure out ways to incorporate it into your schedule, dude.
Pretty supportive of my streaming at the level it is currently right now. So I will be able to build up eventually. I'm just getting there.
Yeah, dude. Well, it looks good.
Support system is gonna make it a lot easier for you, brother. I'm telling you. Like,
yes.
Perfect. It's always nice to get that kind of confirmation.
It's gonna make everything easier. Because when you don't have that, it makes everything harder. I come from starting doing this, nobody understanding, nobody supporting, nobody thinking I'll be shit. I mean, I still ain't shit, you know, but I'm getting there. You feel me?
Yep. Nice.
That's true. I had a relationship end because the person wanted to stop supporting this, you know, my dream.
I've been listening to you long enough to know that.
Yeah. So like my ex-wife, you know, that shit didn't work out. So it sounds like you have someone who's already supportive, and it's just going to get better and help you improve when you're on the same wavelength. 100%.
She's known this has been my dream for a long time. And I was finally able to start doing it 2 months ago, and she's been supportive of it since then and helping me and letting me have my times. And I very much thank her for that.
That's fucking great, dude. All right. Well, do you have any other follow-up questions?
Different question, actually.
Beautiful.
I had a stream last night, and I had someone ask if they could sub to me. And I'm like a little itty-bitty baby streamer just starting out, so I don't have any of that monetization stuff set up yet, and I haven't even considered it yet. And my question is, when, in your opinion, is a good time to start setting that stuff up? Not necessarily promoting it, because that's not my first goal right now, but what makes sense as a brand new baby streamer to actually have like if you want to donate or give me anything, here's where you can do it. Because I don't want that to be like, hey, I'm a brand new baby streamer, have nothing, but you can sub to me over here.
Yeah, I don't
want to be that way at all.
I think it's taking that energy and, like, you know, doing some judo with it. Like, you need to redirect it. Like, someone's coming at you with like, I want to be a big part of your community, I want to support you financially, and like I said earlier, like, my counter to that when I started streaming was, I don't want your money, I want you to tell your friends. So if somebody is so engaged that they want to give you $5 a month, you need to say, I love how much you appreciate this channel. The best way you can help is actually not that $5. The best way that you can help is telling 5 people.
I remember you saying that to somebody else, and that's literally exactly how I approached that person in my channel.
Beautiful. How'd they respond?
They seemed positive about that. I said, oh, thank you very much. Will do. I'm pretty sure is what their response was.
Awesome. Good. And then you have like people out there marketing for you, and it's just smart, dude. It's just smart.
Yep.
I love it, man. Awesome. So do you have any more, or are we?
I don't want to take up all your time, but I do have another question, and then
that's fine.
After that,
you've got my time right now, so use it.
I actually wrote my questions down because last time I was on, I was so nervous I forgot everything.
Okay.
Be prepared. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So my next question is, I have one of my hobbies that I've done in the past, and not quite doing it right now, but I was into the sport of fencing for 12 years.
Okay.
As well as being a coach for 4 of those.
Okay.
And I have been racking my brain about it, and I wanted to get your opinion. How can I incorporate the sport of fencing into like a fun little streaming thing?
Fence on stream.
Fence on the stream?
I'm like,
teach people how to fence.
That too. Yeah, that
teach
too.
People how to fence?
Yep.
Yeah. Educational content always does really, really good. But I mean, like, if it's something you like to do, like right now, hey chat, how cool would it be to watch somebody fence live on stream? Like, teach you how to fence, show you more about it, like, just learn. Right? IRL fencing. Yeah, see, like, everyone's interested, right? It's because it's you. It's because that's who you are. Like, anything that you do around something that's absorbed that much of your life it's going to be like the most authentic, real, and inspiring stuff for someone to watch because you have a decade of experience, you know, like living the life of fencing. And like, there's so many lessons you probably don't even know that you learned.
Probably.
Yeah.
I probably guarantee I'd probably be the only person in the entirety of the streaming web who does it.
Yeah, probably. You know, it's your edge. That's what I would do. So I would stream it.
Cool.
I don't know if Libra's got any like secondary
I have to think that over some.
thoughts on it. All right. So, what is question number 4?
It's more just comments, but thank you so much for all the good stuff you do. I've been enjoying your podcast. It's one of several I listen to, and when I'm at work, typically,
Thank you.
I can listen to stuff. But love that. Love all the work you've been doing at Guardian Con and all that stuff. And haven't been able to be too involved in the last 2 years because of real life kicking me in the butt and everything. But I'm on a nice upward trend.
Sounds like it.
Job and life and everything. But I really hope if everything works out to be more involved in Guardian Con next year. Just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely, man.
As much as possible.
You can be involved this year, dude. That's why we do all the satellite streams and stuff.
Yep.
Just putting it out there, you know, like get your foot in now if you want.
Mixer representation.
Beautiful. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there next year because that's, I mean, you can't change the world by blocking people out. You have to let everybody in. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. You have a great day. I appreciate your fucking awesome questions. Thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, man. Awesome. All right. Libra, are you still there? You good?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. You were silent for a while. I was worried. We're going to get Impact Woodwork, and then I think this will be our last one. He's going to hear it on stream and then be like, oh my God, and then now he's here.
Yeah, what's up?
There you go.
It was a little delayed.
That's all good. What are you doing, Mr. Woodwork?
I'm watching a stream. No, just chilling. I just had a quick question. I mean, I got some decent projects going on right now with the streaming and whatnot, but I'm having a little bit of a little lull going on with the stream, and I'm thinking about, I don't know, I have a decent following on Twitch and whatnot, and it's fun, and I'm affiliated, but like, I don't know, I feel like all these people moving over to Mixer and whatnot and they just created the creative stream on Mixer. I don't know, I just don't know how I'm feeling about it, you know?
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, it's about it, like, the idea of changing platforms for anyone, whether it's for me, anyone, it's about opportunity. It's about, like, seeing whether or not, like, if you see an opportunity for yourself and you feel like that the risk is worth that reward, then you take the risk. I mean, that's the entire conversation around whether it's switching platforms or like, do I quit my job to find a new job? Do I go to college? Do I move to a different city and state where no one knows who I am? Like, the conversation is always it's always risk reward, you know? I don't think that the creative space on Twitch is so established that, like, creative on Twitch doesn't even have like major breakout Twitch stars yet, you know?
Yeah. So it still has potential then.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Because I was like looking at the Mixer. I was just on Mixer, and I can't even find the creative directory anywhere, like, on their site.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would be kind of bad.
Then it's probably not a smart move. There's no exposure for you there.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
That's about it. I mean,
that was it?
Have anything else? Yeah, I just want to tell you I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for making such a dope-ass desk for me to use every day. I do appreciate it.
Of course.
Good. It's a nice desk.
Of course.
For sure, man. All right. Well, you have a good one. And then Libra and I are going to wrap up. And it'll be awesome.
All right, you guys have a good one.
I'm going to wrap it up. So first of all, before we close, Libra, thank you so much for being on.
No problem, anytime.
Like, you seriously, like, this was incredible, and I feel like we're gonna be longtime friends.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
If you ever decide not Destiny,
Oh, sure.
I'm down to playing bullshit with you.
Yeah, I play a lot of plenty of other stuff for sure.
I feel like not having it labeled like as this is the podcast episode that Libra's on, instead of that and us just conversing and just real raw shit,
hanging out. Oh yeah.
I think people would love that just as much, if not even more.
Oh, more than this. 100%. Yeah. Because I'm trying to keep it a little bit focused, and I'd love to just have a completely unfocused bullshit conversation for like 5 days with you.
That's life.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, like life. So let's be friends forever. Okay, cool. Yeah, great. We're on the same page.
What's that movie from or some shit? Do karate in the backyard or some shit?
Do karate in the back? You talking about Karate Kid?
No. What?
You said do karate in the backyard. That's Karate Kid.
No, the with the white brothers.
With the white. You talking about Step Brothers?
Yes, there you go.
Oh my God.
Karate Kid.
That's all I heard was the Karate Kid shit. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do more stuff with Libra, obviously, so I can redeem my dumbass. Anyway, Libra, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on the internet, and we'll close things out.
LibraLebron everywhere, but Instagram.
Who are you on Instagram?
I made Instagram like 3 days ago. And
I saw that.
I have an underscore.
Okay, Libra underscore.
No. LibraLebron underscore.
LibraLebron underscore at the end.
I hate it. I'm so
underscore
sad.
at the end. Well, you know what? When everyone knows who you are, they'll be happy to change it.
You're right.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Hey, one of you Instagram guys, go fix my shit. Thanks.
There you go. If you're listening, you're on Instagram, help Libra out. I'm Professor Broman. You probably already knew that. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I appreciate you to death. The only thing I want is to make the world a better place with this. So, if you want to rate or comment or subscribe or whatever the hell to the podcast, that's awesome. But I care infinitely more about you sharing this with the one person you thought about while you were listening today than any of that other bullshit. So please do that. And we will talk to you next time. Thank you very much and have an awesome day. Woohoo! Good podcast. Awesome. Libra, thank